Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, let's talk about LangFlow. There are many no-code, low-code solutions out there, and LangFlow is one of those tools which help us build AI applications with just drag and drop functionality. I had created videos before already about the LangFlow. If I go to my YouTube channel and just search for LangFlow, you can see I have created 3 different videos already when LangFlow was just introduced, right? But now many things had changed, and the company itself is being acquired by another company, and there are many additional functionalities being added. So why not create a follow-up video on top of this, right? There are 2 things in LangFlow. One is the managed service provided by them, where we don't need to configure ourselves, and the next one is we can just install this locally in our computer and run it locally. The video will be in 2 parts. This first part, I will show you how you can create simple applications as well as simple RAG applications. And in the next one, I will show you how to create the agent from the LangFlow UI itself locally in your computer. How this video will proceed is I will walk you through the website and the documentation, and we will go into the UI, the managed service provided by LangFlow. First, I will show you how the UI looks like, and we'll create 2 simple applications. One simple chat applications, and the next one will be the RAG application, retrieval-augmented generation. Let's get started. Okay, this is the website, and it says here LangFlow is a low-code tool for developers that makes it easy to build and powerful AI agents and workflows that can use any API model and database, right? As I mentioned before also, you can just go through the website and you can see there are different connections available here. But the main thing here is get started for free and start on GitHub, meaning that you can go here and look what is LangFlow all about here, because there is already 42.8k stars, and all the instructions is provided here, how to use locally also. So that one I will follow in the follow-up video. But this one, if I go here, before going into the get started for free, I want to walk you through the documentation, because this documentation is quite good in a way, because it has all the necessary things in the side menu bar here. So you can see how to get started. You can just follow from here, install. But if you go here, there are already some tutorials. You can see there is already some travel planning agent, sequential task agent, and so on. So I will create agent in the next video, a simple one, but you can see here the agents already being created. And if you go down here, you can see how you can deploy these things, how can you do the configurations, all the things are being mentioned here. And if you go down, how do you contribute, so join the LangFlow community, and how to do the integrations and so on. So you can use LangFuse, LangSmith, LangWatch, assembly AI, and all the different things. And one thing which I find really interesting, and now this is in each website, is this small chat icon. If you just go here and maybe let's say you want to ask something about LangFlow, right? You can say here LangFlow, maybe Hugging Face. It will provide you some information related to how you can use the Hugging Face models into the LangFlow. You can see here it says LangFlow can be easily deployed in Hugging Face spaces and so on. You get the point that you can go here and ask whatever you want. There will be a verified source. You can go here and it will take you to the particular documentations, right? This is how you actually learn the new things in the document, because it has made life a lot easier to search for the documentations in the vast documentation. So yeah, just go here, search for what you want and so on. But now let's go into the website. For this is the front page, and I will click this get started for free. If I click this one, it will ask me to log in or sign up. I have already signed up. I will go into the sign in. You can just go here and just sign up with Google or GitHub, or you can even provide first name, last name, and company email and so on, right? So I will go into the sign in, and from here it will sign in for me because I have already signed up before. Now you can see here, this is welcome to Astra Sudarshan. So we were using LangFlow, but why did it came into the Astra data stacks, right? So this is what I mentioned before briefly, that it is being acquired by this company now. So LangFlow was init own before, and now it is part of these data stacks. They have combined to make it better experience for us. So when we go into the managed service, this is how they have provided for us. From here you can go and navigate all the different things, but for us we are not going into the Astra DB, but we are going into the LangFlow. I will go here and you can see that is still in the preview, so it's not fully functional. This is the UI that we can see when we go here. This will be the same UI that we will also see when we install it locally. I will show that in the next video when I create about the agents from LangFlow. But now what you can do is just go here and create a new flow. I will just go here, and for this case I will be using the templates that is already being provided by LangFlow, but you can even go and choose whatever things you want from the UI itself. But to get the understanding of how things work in the LangFlow, it's better to go with the template, so it's easier because all the boxes will be already there, right? So I'll go first with the basic prompting. So in this video I will show you the basic prompting and the vector store RAG, and in the next one I will show you the simple agent, but that will be from your machine. We will not be going through the managed service. Let's go with the basic prompting. This is the basic prompting, and you can see here, let me make this bigger. So let me walk you through the UI itself, so you get the understanding what is where, right? So on the top, this is the normal things, and here there are the components. You can see you can open and close different components. There are inputs you have, there is the outputs, there is the prompts, there is the data from where you can take. You can see you can have from URL, SQL query, file, directory. You can choose models from different providers here already, and there is the processing also, all the different things you can see. And if you go down, there is embeddings, agents, memories, tools, logic, helpers, and all the different components, right? Here you can see the bundles. With the LangChain, you can see all the different extractors or the agents in the LangChain. It means you can use different bundles provided for us out of the box. It's quite handy for us. And now here you new custom components you can even create here. And on the top here you can see my projects, and there will be many projects as we go, and it will be appearing in the my project section. And here notifications, documentations, and if you go to the settings, so this is how it is being shown here. You can see Astra DB token credentials here, so you can just go here and do whatever you want. Now if you go here, this is your settings profile, let's say, in a way, right? Account. From here you can make it light mode or dark mode, or you can even set the system things. And the free feedbacks star, of course, it takes you to the GitHub. Follow on Twitter, and you can even log out. Here is the account setting. If you want to do some additional settings, you can reset your password and all the different things. But for us, let's go to the LangFlow. You can see when I go to the settings, it directly brings back to me into Astra DB. So this is what I was mentioning. If you go to the projects on the top, my projects, it will show you your existing flows. If you want to click the new flow, go from here, but we will be going through this basic flow, right? Now this is here. So the good part here, let me make it bigger. You can even use your mouse scroll to make it bigger. There are mainly 4 components here, right? The first one is the chat input. There is the prompt. There is the model that we want to use, and there is this chat output. That's it, the simple chat basic prompting, right? On the left side, the good part here is it has the readme also. So it performs the basic prompting with an OpenAI model. And so this is OpenAI, but you can see you can even edit this. But if you change this model, you can already use different models which was here there, right? But for this demonstration, I will be using the OpenAI. But in the next one, I will show you how you can use the models from the Grok also. You can just change whatever you want, but if you don't need to do here. Let's go to the chat input. So it's just the input here. One thing is, if you click on this, there is this code. I want to highlight the small pieces here because it's easier, and if you are new into this, then it might be also easy to see what is there, right? So there is the code. They even provided what is there. You can see all the import and all the different things shown here. You can click check and save, or you can just cancel. So you can see the code is also being provided if you want to see what the code is there. And if you want to go here, there are the controls. You can see all the different things. So there is the text, session ID, background color, and all the different things. And if you see, this is highlighted or maybe checked, meaning that this is being shown there, right? So the text, you can see this is the hello. You can just modify here and it is shown in the UI. That is the by default shown in the UI, and other things are not shown there, right? But you can just hover this or change visibility of the field and it will be shown there. Maybe you want to have this text color, so here it says type something, and you can say here red, for example, right? And then you can do this, you can say close. So now if you go here, you can see the text color is red, just to show you that whenever you take those into action, it will be shown here. But we don't need that. What I will do is go here, text color, and close, and it is gone from here, just to show you the understanding there. Similarly, you can do all the different things. But now let's test it. How to test it? And by the way, for all the other things also, you can just see here, this is the prompt, this is the template. You can click it, it will open in this UI here again, and you can just go here and change whatever you want, check and save, and that is being saved. Now let's go and provide the OpenAI API key. I have already created the API key, but if you are new to this, you can go to platform.openai.com. I'll provide the link in the description. From there, you can create your own API key. I have already created from another account, so I will just grab that. Let me go, I think it's here. I will go here in the OpenAI API key, and then I will just paste it here. You can choose now the different models. We can choose for this case GPT-4o mini, that's it. And here, this is the input. If you click on this, and all the things will be appearing here. You can go to code and you can see all the different things. Here you can change all the different things by you can see the how the drag and drop things are being shown here. So this is the chat input, it is going into the input. This is the prompt message, is it going into the system message here. And this is the OpenAI API key, meaning it highlights the place where you need to provide the information. This temperature, you can just play around with whatever you want. And now you can see this text, this is now pointing to the chat output, and if you highlight on top of it, it will show the same thing. Before you go into the playground, you need to first save it. You can just go individually run the component, or what you can do is, if it is connected, you can just go to the last one and say run the component. When you run this, you can see that first this will be running here, this will be running, and all the things will be run. So when there is the green tick mark, and it will also show how much time it take. Now we can go and test it. Right here, I can go to the playground. If you are confused, you can go here and ask all the different things. Now I go to the playground, and you can see when I click this, it says hello, because that was the initial message we have, and it already provided the output. You can go here and chat, because this is the basic prompting, right? I can say here, hello, how are you doing? Just a simple example to show you, and it will say the answer, hello, I'm doing great, thank you for asking. You can now go here and ask whatever you want. This is the basic flow that you can create already with just the template that is being provided. Now let's say that if you want to modify this, or if you want to use something else, how you can do, let's go to the components. Let's say you want to change this OpenAI. If you go to the models, you can see there are different models out here. There is the grog, you can just drag here, you can just replace this with the grog. Everything is same here. You can see, you can just connect these pieces here, and you can have the models from the grog instead of the OpenAI. That's simple. You can even go to the API, because whatever we created there, now you can even use the call to have this call. And then there is this Python API, there is JavaScript API, Python code, and all the different things. But the thing here is, you can see there is called your application token. This is the application token of LangFlow itself, right? So here you can see generate token. You can generate the token here and use this, because if you go to the Python API, here is also your application token. So in order to this flow to work, you need to have, or you need to authenticate, right? That is what is mentioning here. You need to generate, this will be generated. You can copy this, and then you can use this one. So I'm not going to go through that in this video. You get the idea how to do it. So I can close this, right? And now if I go to this my project, now this is the project. Now the next flow, let's go about the RAG implementation, because that is quite handy and easy to build. Also it looks quite complicated. Let's see. So if I go here, new flow, vector store RAG. So now when we see in the beginning, you can see there are many components. There is two flow. It seems to be quite complicated, but if you go piece by piece, it is not that complicated. Just to show you, there is there is the load data flow. In the RAG application, first you need to do all the things about the data. You load the data, and there will be this retrieve flow where we retrieve the answer, right? And you can see here, there is also written the readme how you can do it. Let's go step by step. So first, let's go through this load data flow. Right, I will highlight this part here. What we need first is the file. There is the file, but you can have different inputs also based on the components. So file you can upload from your local machine. What I will do, I will click this one. It will take here, and I will upload maybe one of the file from here. What can I upload? Let me see. Okay, I will just upload the GPT for all paper. This is the simple PDF that I have, right? When uploaded, it will be shown here. You can see now it is GPT for all PDF. So now we provided the PDF for it. What do we need to do it? Once we provide the PDF, we need to do the splitting things. Here it says split text into chunk based on specific criteria. It is by default saying the chunk size is 1000 and the chunk overlap is 200, but it depends upon you how much of the chunk size you want. For this case, I will just keep as it is. And also the separator and so on. You can go to the controls, and from here you can say what do you want just by going there, or then you can go here, and there are many other different things. Just go there and change whatever you want to change, but for me, I will just keep as it is for now. Now you can see this data is being connected to this split text. So once you do the splitting, what do you need? We need to do the embedding, right? And here is the OpenAI embeddings. I will copy the API key. I will just go here and paste the API key. Now I have the OpenAI embedding model from here. So you can choose different embeddings. There is 3 large, 3 small, and so on. We can go with the default one, text embeddings 3 small, right? This is connected. Now we have the OpenAI embeddings. We did the file upload. We did the splitting. What do we do now? We need to do the embedding and store that into the vector databases, right? So here you can see, as this is from data stacks, ExtraDB is being selected by default. We can go here and choose different vector stores. You can see here are different vector stores, but for this, as they are providing free for 5 different collections, you can see here you can get 5 databases for free, so we can use the default one. So here in the database, we can create or add a new database. I will click this one. I will just give here database. So this is not the collection. I can say database 1, and you can choose the provider from here. Let's use the Amazon Web Services, and for the region there is only one to choose, so we can choose this and create the database. It is going to be creating the database for us. It will take some time to create the database, and once the database is being created, you can see here the collection. You can create the collection inside the database, and then we can use the same collection into the retrieval part. Okay, so now it is still pending. What I can do is go up here, and we can go into the retrieve flow. So what happens in the retrieve flow is we'll ask the question, right? Here it says what is the document about. What we can do again, here you can go to the controls, and here you can change whatever you want. We can say here what is the document. Instead of this, I can just say here summarize the document. I can just do this and close. Now you can see, if I go to the chat input, here it says summarize the document. We need to provide the OpenAI embeddings. I need to paste the OpenAI key. I will paste the key here, right? And then here the database or the vector database that we created must be the same. It is still pending. Once that is done, we will go here and do the things, and you can see the things here. So first build the component. This is the message. It is going, you can see that this message is going all the way here. You can see when I drag, you can see it is there, but this will be complicated once you build many things which is connected where. So this is how the message is passed here, and the message is also passed here. You can see how the connection is being built here. Once we have the database, let me see if it is created. It's still pending, but then it is passed into the parse data, and this is the small description also here. Convert data into plain text following a specified template, right? Once this is done, the text is then passed into the prompt. So create a prompt template with dynamic variables. You can just click here and pass whatever you want based on your application. But this is the RAG application, so we don't need to change anything. We can just use the basic template provided. Now if you go here, it will be saying, okay, this is done and so on. And now again, we need to have the LLM. So here again, we are using the OpenAI's basic one. We need to provide the API key. I will do Control V. So that is the API key I copied before. And now you can go here and see the code, how it is being written and so on. This is a good idea because you can now see how to write these kind of codes. If you don't want to use this also, if you are working in some additional projects, you can see how to build a class and how to create different functions inside, how to use the different components and so on from this code example. So I can click this one, and then it is connected to the chat output as before. Now you can see the database is being created, database 1. We need to create a collection inside it. I will click the collection, and I will give the name collection 1. Now you need to choose the dimension. If I click here, you can see there are different dimensions based on the embedding model that you choose. So here we choose the OpenAI embedding model. So for OpenAI, you can see these are the different embeddings. It is shown here. So we can choose this text embedding 3 small. So we choose the small. So we need to click 1536. And here you can choose the similarity metric. Cosine, Euclidean, or dot product. We'll go with the default one. So I can say create collection. It will take some time to create the collection inside the database. I will also show you from the UI itself how it is shown the collection later. But now it will take some time to create the collection inside the, okay, now it is created here. You can see collection. Now this is done. If I click this one, you can see this flow must pass first. This passed, this passed, this passed, and this is also passed. So it says here AstraDB built successfully. So now the database is being created. What we can do next is we can use the same database here. But before using the same database, I want to show you, okay, you created the database. The good part of these kind of things is you can explore the data, right? If you click this explore the data, it will open in the new UI. Here you can see the database 1 that we created. We are in the AstraDB, but we were in the LangFlow. It came here, right? Inside the database 1, we have the collection 1. Now you can see we use the 1536 dimensions, cosine, similarity, and there are now 28 records because it contains the PDF and embedded that. If you go down here, you can see the table format of this. This is the ID and so on. And if you go to the JSON format, you can see here, if you click this one, you can see the content that is being splitted. And then you can see there is the vector of that, and there is the metadata and so on. You can see everything is now being stored in this collection. So whenever we ask the question, it is going to go through this collection and provided the relevant chunks into the LLM, and we get the answer. This is just to show you how it is being stored here. Now I can go back and make this bigger. This is done. I hope you understand how the flow is being created. Now we can choose the same database. Database 1, collection 1. The collection that I just showed you will be used here. Whenever we ask the question here, what happens is, let's say we ask summarize the document, that the text is being embedded with this OpenAI embeddings. It will go to that particular collection, find the relevant chunks, do the parsing and all the different things. There is the prompt, and the chunks will be passed into the OpenAI, and then there will be the output for us. Now I can save or run the component. When I run this component, is everything, if everything is correct, all the things will be green. Everything is green here. And now we can go and ask the questions. Let me make this a little bit smaller. So now you can see this is the overall flow, right? Now we can go to the playground, and you can see it is already being summarized, because this is the default question that I provided before summarize the document. So the document provides an overview of GPT for all paper and this thing. So you can see everything is already being shown here. That means it works. So we can just go here and say who are the authors of the paper and now same flow will happen. It goes to the collection and all the different things will be shown here. Who are the authors of the paper? That is the user. And now you can see it when the authors of the paper are this and this. It provided all the information. Note the list may include additional contributors not explicitly mentioned in the provided text. It's fine, but we know that it is getting the answer from there. So the RAG application is working. How is the answer correct or not? That is next part about evaluating the responses from the RAG. But now, without writing one line of code, we created complex RAG applications with different components here with the help of LangFlow. Now you can go to the API and see the same thing. Everything is here: Python API, JavaScript API, Python code, and so on. Next video will be about the agents, how to create it, but in your local computer using Ollama embeddings and Grog models from the Grog API. I hope you learned something new out of this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.